Hi, my name is Jerry Furman. Some people call me Professor Gerald. That's Furman. Uh, I have a PhD in political science from the University of Pennsylvania. I was a leader of two Jewish federations in the United States uh, for about 14, 15 years, I believe. And I did a little development when I came to Israel in 1986. Uh, Now I'm in isolation, as following the rules that you should to preserve life. Uh, and I have time, and I've been reading a lot about what's happening in Israel. And I'd like to talk today about the Kahol Lavan, the blue and white party. Uh, Before I go into that, I want to tell you my training gives me some ability to be objective, but you should know at the very beginning I come from a Zionist right wing or center right tradition from Beitar, the United States, and I'm very proud of that. Uh, but I will do all I can to be as objective as I can, and if I'm not, discount it. Uh, it's very hard to be objective in emotional situations, so I try to keep as much of the emotions on the side. Okay, Kahol Lavan, blue and white party. Uh, the election campaign, forget the election campaign for a moment. What I want to talk about is the main thing that I think the former Ramatkal and those other two Ramatkalim and Mr. Lapid, who were part of that party and formed that coalition or party, have said they will unite the people. That Bibi Netanyahu, has divided the people for 10 years, but they have come to unite the people. Well, and in the last election campaign about a month ago, that was the main message. Bibi has to go because he doesn't unite the people and he's corrupt and all of that. And we will unite the people. We will bring all the people together as one, and everything will be happy and fine after that. Well, it's hard for somebody that thinks to accept that as a reason to vote for a person. Everybody says it. Everybody's going to unite the people, So one has to look a little deeper. But with Kahol Lavan, it's hard to look a little deeper because they didn't say anything about really. They didn't make any issue publicly about what they will do if they come to power. For example, as a person over 80, healthcare is very important. And if I need a cataract surgery, which I do need, one eye I did already, the other eye I had to wait 4 months. And it won't be because of the coronavirus now. That date will be passed. The point is, people line up for essential treatments. The cataract can wait. But there are things that people of my age and younger, of course, have that they need immediate attention, but you can't get it. You have to wait 2, 3 months. Are they going to solve that problem, and how are they going to solve it? I'd like to know, but they didn't speak about that. Uh, the national law. Now they're in coalition with the Arab coalition of 15 members of Knesset. Are they going to change it? Are they going to make Israel a state, by definition, of its citizens? That means everybody is equal. That is, if they're the Chok Hashvut, if they're the law of return for the Jews, Well, either you dump it or have a law of return for the Arabs. Are they going to knock that down? All the Arabs want it to be knocked down, plus others. Uh, how do they feel about non-Zionist parties in a government? I don't know about that. They've been talking about a minority government supported on the outside by obviously non-Zionist parties, people that would like to live in a state called Israel or Palestine, it doesn't matter, in which the Jews would be just another population. It doesn't. That means it's not really their state; it's a state of every citizen with equality, etc. I don't know really how they going to respond to that. I don't know really. I think how they're going to respond to the Trump peace proposal. I heard from Gantz that he supports it, and he's for the annexation of the Jordan Valley, but only if everybody agrees. Bahaskama. Does he expect the Palestinian Authority to agree to that? Today, tomorrow, ever? I don't know. I assume he does, or at least he's playing games with words. He's not clear exactly what he's going to do as prime minister. You can go on to other issues, the economy. Is he going to follow the Netanyahu economy, which is basically a capitalistic economy with a handout for the poor people, whether it be the Hashlamat Maskoret or whatever, all types of benefits, the reversal of tax. My wife is a minimum wage worker, and I'm retired, so, she gets something back from the government. There are all types of programs that can help the poor within the capitalist framework. Or is he going to go according to the desires of his partners, the Meretz group, who are really against capitalism in general? They want to return to some form of socialism, although the Soviet Union collapsed, and they would like the socialism, probably the model of Germany, which is a mixture of capitalism and socialism. But in any event, Benny Gantz hasn't said that. And his people haven't said that, so I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And that's not nice. And it's treating the electorate as people that don't think. You just give them slogans. I'm going to unite the people. I'm going to, make everything good. It's really not enough in a modern democratic state. But, that's the way it is, unfortunately. Now, again, the uniting the people. What we know is what Benny Gantz has done since the election. Has he acted in a way to unite the people? Well, I think the only way that a responsible leadership and leader could act with the emergence of the coronavirus was to unite and put all the political gender aside. Just be part of a government that will work totally to save the people's lives and save the economy, because they're both tied together. A government that Bibi Netanyahu has called for at the very beginning. He noted it at the very beginning of this political battle for forming a government. A government for 6 months that will dedicate itself to fighting the disease, with vetoes on both sides. That is, the Kochol Lavan group can veto anything that they don't like from the Likud, and the Likud could do the same thing, and only things that they both agree to would go to the Knesset and pass the Knesset. So everybody would be part of the decision-making process regarding this disease. And I wouldn't even in that context change ministers. You don't, when you're fighting, you're in a battle and a war, and that's how it's been defined, I think, by both sides. You don't change the team and bring in new people. It just doesn't work that way. In the middle of a war, if you don't like your Ramatkal, You don't change them. You work around them and you do what you have to do to win the war. But you don't just change the team in the middle of a battle. It's not a very good idea, and it's only done when there's extreme negligence. And I don't believe anybody can say that today. The last poll indicated that 74% basically want the present government, meaning Netanyahu, to continue. They think he's in a good position to do the job. So, given this, what else has Benny Gantz done to unite the people? Well, he's taken over the Knesset. Well, and how did he do it? He is a minority. 33 votes versus 36 for Likud, and the blocs of Zionist parties are clearly, in favor of Likud. 58 members versus what? 33 plus 7 or 8 or 9 for Meretz, 42. And if you throw in Lieberman, 49, maybe 50. But he's done something that never was done before. He's mobilized the Arabs, the anti-Zionists, or those that don't believe in the Jewish state that as the home of the Jewish people forever. And he's used them in order to take over the Knesset. Not one of the committees that have been established in the Knesset are headed by a Likudnik, which is breaking tradition. It always was the minority, the opposition, and the ruling party divided. Yes, the ruling party had more, but the opposition had chairmanships and power in the Knesset. They weren't totally wiped out. So that's a new tradition. You use the Arab parties, the anti-Zionists, to defeat the Zionists. Right, that's acceptable. Is that uniting the people? He used the courts to basically force the chairman of the Knesset to resign, who in my view is a very brave man. Why? So before the formation of a government, he could change he could control the Knesset by putting his own man in it. And of course, the next thing is to pass a law, as they say, that will forbid people that are being indicted or have been indicted by the courts to form a government. Otherwise, he's knocking out Netanyahu through the back door. 2.5 million people that voted in the right-wing parties and the Zionist parties knew about Netanyahu, knew the charges against him, but yet voted for a bloc that supports him. Doesn't matter. The Knesset, the new Knesset, with the new traditions of using the Arabs to expand the power of the Jewish left, which is a minority in the overall Jewish community, to knock out the opposition. Is this a way to unite the people, Benny? I don't think so. So what can I say? 3 Ramatkalim and Lapid, a center-left type of politician, straight from the television. He was very good on television, but in politics, that's something else. So that's the situation as I see it today, and I hope, very big hope, that Benny Gantz and his group will realize the damage they've done to the Jewish state. And I hope that they still are for Israel as the eternal home of the Jewish people. That's principle number 1. Run in a democratic way. But this is the home of the Jewish people. That was the whole dream of Zionism. Not that they go from one country to another country and wait till minorities in that country through equality and liberalism and all of that take over by simply marriages, by births, etc. That this little thing called Israel, so small in the Middle East, will remain a Jewish state forever. So I hope that the Kahol Lavan tries to unite the people, forms this unity government, and really opens up the Knesset as it's been for 22 times that we've had a Knesset, 22 Knesset, etc. That we go back to the tradition of sensibility, rather than takeover and creating the Knesset with the help of the legal system, which we can talk about at another time, to make it good and give it unity and devote all our efforts not to get political advantages, not to take political advantages, but to unite us in the fight against the real enemy today, the war against the virus, which will kill, and it'll kill the left, the right, the in-between, the minorities, it'll kill everybody. So we have something in common today. Let's focus our energy on that and not on political advantages. Thank you. Today is March 26th. If I didn't say it, it's 12:53. Hopefully things will change to the best. Bye.